China is not too happy with Obama's plans to help the government of Taiwan. The Obama administration informed Congress this morning that it plans to upgrade Taiwan's fighter jets. China strongly condemned the deal, calling it a grave interference in its internal affairs. China warned that the potential $5 billion U.S. arms sale would harm its core interests in Taiwan and damage China and U.S. military relations. China said this sale would be seriously harmful. The U.S. is Taiwan's only military supplier. Other countries are refusing to sell weapons to it because they're fearing a Chinese response. A tropical storm is battering Japan tonight. Typhoon Roke made landfall earlier today, and it was downgraded once its winds slowed. 4 people have passed away in the storm with 160-mile-per-hour winds. They're experiencing heavy rainfall right now. Before the storm made landfall, about 1 million people were urged to evacuate from some areas. This storm comes while Japan was already cleaning up from another natural disaster. There was an earthquake and tsunami earlier this year that killed more than 15,000 people. Officials are unsure if major nuclear plants will be affected by the storm. 2 American hikers convicted of spying in Iran have been released. Greg Black has a story.
Freedom for Shane Bauer and Josh Vitale came after more than 2 years in an Iranian prison. In August, the 2 Americans were convicted of espionage and illegal entry and were sentenced to 8 years behind bars. The U.S. had been critical of their imprisonment since they, along with Sarah Shord, were seized on July 31, 2009 near the border with northern Iraq where they'd been hiking. Shord was freed last year for medical reasons, and U.S. officials pressed for the release of the others.
We continue to express our hope that the Iranian authorities will exercise the humanitarian option of releasing these 2 young men.
The families of the prisoners claim their loved ones were being held as diplomatic pawns.
We feel terrible. This has been a time of enormous anguish, enormous desperation.
In the days preceding their release, Iran's president hinted it may be imminent in an interview on NBC's Today Show.
I think these 2 persons will be freed in a couple of days.
But the country's judiciary then issued a statement that seemed to contradict that. Analysts believe the drama that played out was meant to prop up President Ahmadinejad politically.
He wants to try to garner some goodwill, and particularly now, given that he's been so emasculated in the domestic Iranian political context, he wants to try to show the world that he's not a lame duck, that he's still capable of delivering.
In Atlanta, I'm Greg Black.
A key political figure in Afghanistan is dead after an attack on his home in Kabul. Former Afghan President Burhanuddin Rabbani was considered vital to the peace process in the country. He led the Afghan Peace Council and played a crucial role in getting the Taliban leaders to the negotiating table. At least 3 other people were injured in the blast at Rabbani's home. The incident caused lockdowns at the U.S. Embassy and coalition headquarters nearby. I'm Marcus Roon, and back to you at the desk.